Okay, these are some very unique little old cards. They're only 2 1/4 inch by 3 1/2 inch. So they're very tiny cards. They're kind of like even a little bit smaller than a deck of playing cards or around that size. They're only 2 1/4 inch by 3 1/2. So they're very, very tiny. But let me take you through them, show them all to you. This is Longfellow's house. And that's the public library in Boston, Mass. They're just so tiny. You know, about 1/4 of the size of a postcard. Okay, this is a public garden in Boston, Mass. This one here is Paul Revere's home in Boston, Mass. They're just so unique because they're so little. Museum of Fine Arts from Fenway, Boston, Mass. So tiny. Okay. Christian Scene Church, Boston, Mass. Old State House, Boston, Mass. Look how tiny the State House is on this tiny little card. Okay. The State House showing Shaw Museum in Boston, Mass. Tremont Street in Boston, Mass. Wow. But look how old these cards are. Look at the vehicles in them. Look at the tiny little vehicles. As close as I can get to it because that pretty much takes it all. You can tell by the old Model A's. Okay, and this is Massachusetts Institute Technology and Harvard Bridge, Cambridge, Mass. And this is the South Station, Boston, Mass. Again, you can tell, look at the little old vehicles there. That tells you how old these little cards are. Just look at the vehicle. Sometimes you just look at the vehicle and the way people are dressed, and that gives you an idea of how old these tiny little cards are. Okay, here looking at some more of the Model A's in there. King's Chapel, Boston, Mass. Look at that. I don't know, but they all have little numbers too on them. So I don't know if that means something. To collectors it probably does. But look how everybody's dressed in suits. The tiny little Model A cars there. And these are just on tiny, tiny little cards. 2 1/4 inch by 3 1/2 inch. Okay, and then we got this one here. That's Faneuil Hall. Candle of Library, Boston. Okay. Panorama Franklin Park, showing Duck Pond Bridge, Boston, Mass. Duck Pond Bridge. Okay. And look at this one. Again, this is Commonwealth Avenue in Boston, Mass. And there you can see the Model A cars and everything right there. To give you an idea of the time frame of these postcards. Well, they're not postcards, they're tiny little postcard. 1/4 size of a postcard. Okay, and then we have a few that are shaped like this here. Christ Church, Old North, Boston, Mass. Then you have the Old South Church in Boston, Mass. Custom House in Boston, Mass. Bunker Hill Memorial in Mass. And then this other tiny little one here, Harvard Medical School in Courtyard, Boston, Mass. Okay, and again you can see the old Model A. Alright, so that gives you your time frame for these itty bitty, tiny little 2 1/4 by 3 1/2 cards. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and if you wish, you may always fan fund me. That's that little eye in the upper right hand corner, and that'll allow me to get out there to another auction and get some more. Bring it all to you in video form. Alright, bye bye now.